Say one of these person is you, or maybe your sister or something like that. And in every occasion, your sister decides to dress up differently. Whether it's going to the beach, so they need sunglasses, they just want to look really cute, and so they put a bow. They're going to a baseball trip, so they put on a hat, maybe a fancy dinner, so they put on a dress. So whatever the occasion that it is, they're going to wear certain differently. And based on what they wear, they're going to actually even function differently too. Maybe to the beach, you're going to be more cool, relaxed kind of deal. In a fancy dinner, you have this proper manner that is like bringing up. You going to the baseball field, you're just like this excited sister, right? Whatever the case might be, they have their own function as they dress up differently for different occasions. So this is where I bring in the word functional group. So functional group is like a group of atoms, or you could think of it as like a group of this outfit that allow the entire molecule to change its chemical and physical properties so that they function differently. Okay. And what are these wardrobes or different functional group look like? These look like all of these. Okay. The one that is highlighted in pink, these are your different outfits or different functional groups. For example, this one is an aldehyde, C double bonded O and a H, and that R represents just chain of carbons or cyclic carbons. So R represents different carbon chains. Here is another one, amino functional groups, NH2, that is attached to R. Let me give you an example. So say you have a butane, and on the edge of the butane, instead of a CH3 in the end, you have a C double bonded O, and that's connected to, let me erase that little part there. Okay, it's no longer a butane. Okay, now it has an aldehyde, the C double bonded OH, C double bonded OH. For a different occasion, this butane decides to wear an amino group, NH2, right? They wore an NH2. Now, but there's four carbons here. Whether it's you have an aldehyde functional group or an amino group functional group, they're going to have a different function. They have different physical and chemical properties when they change this outfit. Does that make sense? So I'm going to go over briefly each one, what it looks like. Aldehyde looks like this, has a C double bonded OH. Amide has C double bonded O, but it's got an NH between two R's, meaning there's a long chain of carbon here, another chain of carbon here. Amino is in the end, the NH2 is in the end of the carbon chain. Carboxylic acid has C double bonded O and an OH. And now I know I skipped carbonyl for a reason. Ester has an R group. It looks a lot like carboxylic acid. So instead of hydrogen, there's going to be a carbon source on the end. Ether has two carbon sources and O in the middle. You guys are very familiar with hydroxyl, OH. Ketone has a C double bonded O. It looks a lot like aldehyde, but then instead of an H, there is another carbon on both sides. Methyl, I think we are familiar with, CH3. Phosphate, and sulfhydryl. Now the carbonyl, the reason why I skip, it could be really confusing with the ketone and a carbonyl because they look exactly alike. Carbonyl, under the category carbonyl, this is a category, is a ketone. carboxylic acid, amides, and aldehyde. It's just saying that this is a one, within this here, within one carbonyl, all the categories are here, and those are listed here. Where is the ketone? Ketone, aldehyde, carboxylic acid, and amide. Those fall under the category of carbonyl. Now I want you to identify some of the functional groups in the following structure. So this is a good time to take out your highlighter. So I'm going to use a yellow highlighter and do one at a time. And you're going to try for the next learning check. So I see a carbonyl group right here. Right? I'm sorry, not a carbonyl. And in that specific category is the carboxylic acid, right? The carboxylic acid. Let's do another one. I see an amide here. That's my amide. I see another amide. Okay. And I see a sulfhydryl. That's my sulfhydryl right there. I also see an amine group right here. And that's amino group. And then I also see a methyl group, right? Do you see a methyl? Right here. That's my methyl right here. So these are all functional groups. Now you could label it by, highlighting, or you could just kind of draw a circle around it. That's up to you. But we're going to do the same here for the functional group of this. Actually, this is a protein. Try this and come back. All right, try to keep the color coordination very similar. There are a few more that was additional here. Please check the key.